Hey everybody, Goosebumps for Dummies here, and today we are going to be reviewing Into the Jaws of Doom. This is the first of 8 Give Yourself Goosebumps special editions, and one of the final books of the series I'm yet to review. It has this gorgeous cover art by Craig White. I really like this one. I like the attempt at a, obviously, museum quality skeletal T-Rex. You can see the screws in it. Yeah, really good still here, and it is a scene in the book, so pretty cool. And this was one of the most experimental Goosebumps books just ever. To put it simply, this is kind of longer, but kind of not at the same time. I guess that makes it more complicated, actually. Look at that! 238 pages? Well, it's normal length, though. You can just tell from the spine, because it's divided in segments. If you've never owned a copy of this book or never heard anything about it, yeah, you're learning just now. This is how this book is divided up, and it makes it a way different, kind of longer experience. Well, it's not much longer overall. It's just most of the pages are more full than not, you know? So yeah, and this also abides by the more common trope of this special edition run, where you have to pick out items at the start or collect items and so on. Yeah, does that. And there's also list pages and maps. So pretty cool. And there's actually, this is the recommended way I would read it actually, a page map, I'm not even kidding, to complete the book correctly at the back of this book. Check out Time of the Dead End Hotel. And it's right here. So if you wanna pause, maybe get an image of that, I guess you can. And there's a second page to it. It's literal page instructions, how to get to the good ending. So yeah, this book was a very different Goosebumps entry. We haven't even talked about the quality of it, so let's just dive in. And now for the blurb. Talk about a jawbreaker. Help, you're trapped in the Hall of Science, and a mad supercomputer wants to keep you there forever. Escaping is the ultimate challenge, because in this book there is only one way out. That's right, make one mistake and you're cake. Cake? Like big booty? The Hall of Science is filled with tools you can use to protect yourself against a terrifying T-Rex, a rampaging robot arm, and other enemies. But look out, the giant mutated germ will make you sick, and the pendulum will hypnotize you to death. The choice is yours in this scary Goosebumps adventure, but it's backed with over 20 super spooky endings, but only one way out. Whoo! I can't wait to not do this anymore. Into the Jaws of Doom. This is a great entry. Not a perfect one, but mostly all around really good piece in the Goosebumps franchise. One of the best in the Give Yourself catalog, I'd say. So yeah. Check this one out if you get it. It's really hard, actually. This is one of the toughest to get through just because of 238 segments, if I can even show it. There's a fucking lot, and it's really hard to navigate, but it's kind of worth it, you know? It's a really nice read. There's a lot to go over and upsides, thankfully. You know, we want more quantity. So, I'm trying to take it a little fast. Pedia. And this is the first thing I wanted to bring up. There's this character in the book called Pedia, which I don't know if this was even a thing at the time, but it's a really funny joke if it's referring to Wikipedia, or at least the very early version of that. I don't know, this was 1998, I think, or 1997. Yeah, 98. So, I don't know, but either way, that's pretty cool. I like their character, and the inclusion of them was really nice. There's a lot of fun creatures in this book. There's a germ that grows really large. There's the Visible Man, not the Invisible Man, the Visible Man. It's pretty gross, as you'll find out. We even got this guy who has his own little short piece in the story. I mean, obviously the supercomputer, you have Pedia once again, and just a lot of weird creatures and foes that you can face off that I found all really interesting and obviously very befitting of the other upside. Great setting. This giant museum, which is like 5 stories, is so cool. And there's a lot of great navigation going on here, like the page navigation. It's pretty open world per floor. And generally the settings allow for a lot of really cool ideas to come out and be at play here. So yeah, and I just generally like the setting. Pretty cool stuff here. Most of the endings are quite decent. I only found a few to be bad. And I really like the challenge going on here. This is a very, optional read. You're not forced to read this book. So if you're looking for a really tough GYG, unless you have a page map, and even then, obviously, that makes it easier, but it's still kind of hard with this one, since it's super hard to navigate it. Then, I mean, Jesus, dude. you're getting that challenge. And I really like them trying to up their game and make it really hard, GYG, with literally one ending in a sea of 40. So, yeah, it's literally the final ending you can get. It's the farthest out from the first page, so, yeah. And generally, this book is never boring, so that's a huge upside, since some GYGs can be at fault of being either way too repetitive or way too out there and crazy, where it's like, what am I reading? This is the good middle ground, where it's a lot of cool ideas in a very, navigable, sensible area. So yeah, this book is great, just has some faults. There's a really brief puzzle in here called an abacus, and I don't like abacuses. Okay, I have to say it. Terror in Little Creek had this exact puzzle where it's an abacus, a Goosebumps game. Abacus is like a really weird ancient number system that I believe was used in Egypt. I don't know. I'm not quite educated. And yeah, it's extremely hard to fucking use, and they tried to do it in this book. Little annoying. Yeah, that is my big personal issue out of the way, but I didn't even say it was a personal until now. What actually is weighing this book down a little? There are endings that just aren't it. And I don't even want to mention it, but there's like 7 to 10 that I would say aren't good in this sea of 40 again. So this is like the most endings we've ever seen out of the GYG. But 7 to 10 of them are pretty mid to bad. And one of them is god-awful, and it is actually, believe it or not, the good ending. The one ending you want to get is my least favorite ending. And it's not just because the fact, if you've already read this, you know it's actually not a good ending, it's another bad ending. Yeah, which makes this the darkest Goosebumps book ever. There are 0 good endings. You're fucked either way. There's no ending where you actually get a happy ending in this book, not a sexual one, or you get out. No, there's nothing like that. And I think that's fine. But the problem with the good ending is that it's just a really shitty ending. It's, sure, all the endings are really dark, which is, I guess, a mild upside, but that one ending that you're trying to get to this whole time is a really stupid, shitty ending. It's bad. It sucks. Let's just say you're double trapped, and you're gonna need context to understand why this one sucks. It's just so... That's the big ending? It's a wet fart. And there's also this mirror maze segment that is just unbelievably repetitive and extremely hard to navigate. This book is supposed to be hard, but that is just mind-numbingly the same page kind of over and over again, where it's like, go south, go west, yada yada, you hit another mirror wall. It's like that for like 20 pages of this book, or sorry, segments. Which is like, are we fucking serious? No one wants to read that. It's pretty rough. But yeah, that's it. Other than that, this book is great. Overall, I give the book an 8.5 out of 10. Into the Jaws of Doom is a great, really well-crafted piece that is extremely difficult, but very fun, and has a lot of good concepts and ideas thrown in here, and is genuinely one of the most satisfying reads until the very end, And that's my biggest issue, is that ending sucks, and there's a lot of other endings that aren't very good, and there's just some moments in here that aren't it, in my opinion. But overall, really good book. Could be one of the best GYGs if those issues subsided, or maybe I'll be more forgiving on him in the future. Either way, this is a read I very much cherish. So yeah, check this one out if you're up for the challenge. Corny. Also, I just realized the title makes no sense, because this is like maybe like 5 or 6 segments in the whole book actually has this guy in it, and there's like 230. Why is it called Jaws of Doom? There's nothing in here of Jaws outside of this thing and a few robot creatures. It doesn't make sense! Either way, whatever. Hope you guys enjoyed this book review. Tell me what you think about Into the Jaws of Doom down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.